Well, Cabs, man of the match this afternoon. It must feel good to get a huge victory.
Yeah, big win. We knew that coming into this game. You know, it wasn't going to be just one of those games. You know, we know what it meant to the gaffer. We know what it meant to us as players as well, and what we had to deliver for him. You know, for it to be his 1000th game, you know, in his managerial career is just perfect. You know, delighted to get the win for him, and yeah, just delighted. It was a great shift from myself and the boys, and you know the players that came on. It's been a great, I think, week in terms of like the build up to the game, in terms of training. You know, that's been really good, and obviously it paid out there today in terms of the result, and just delighted to get the 3 points.
The gaffer spoke about how pleased he were in patches of what you did against Bradford, but that was probably the perfect response to last week.
Yes. He told us to sort of not get too down. Obviously, we know that we didn't get a lot of shots on goal, and you know we know that what that might look, you know, to other teams and people that might, you know, do stats and things like that on our game. But we know what we've got in the changing room. You know, we didn't have a lot of possession today, but you know, we created a lot of chances to game. You know, it should have been a lot more than 3. But yeah, just delighted to get the win.
You talk about not many shots on target last week against Bradford, but the polar opposite this week was 17 shots towards goal this week. So there's a lot of venom in that team. Yes.
Obviously, we know in terms of, you know, what we need to do in terms of, you know, the players that we have in the squad, you know, in that starting 11 today. We know how effective we can be in terms of, you know, going back to front and, you know, using H, you know, in terms of aerial ability, and, you know, me having to gamble and, you know, Skips being in and around it. You know, just delighted, I think, all round. You know, it weren't, in terms of possession base, it wasn't the best, but we was effective, you know, in both. You know, and you know we had a lot of chances that we created, and obviously on the other half, you know, first half, they didn't create a lot in terms of, we just kept it simple, we kept it tight at the back, and I think moving forward that's what we need a lot more. We just got to be, you know, tight, keep it solid there, and at the other end just be effective, turn teams. The gaffer's spoken a lot about that in the build up to the game, and yeah, just delighted that, you know, that's what played out today in the game.
I remember talking to the gaffer pitch side against Wickham, and he told me about a conversation that he had with you, that he said that he really wanted you to get a goal that day, and he didn't realise that you got the second goal, but he'd be really pleased for you to get 2 goals today as well.
Yeah. He knows a lot of my strength. He knows what I can do on the pitch. He knows where, you know, I can hurt opposition and things like that. And he sort of just told the boys, you know, leading up to that game, he just said, you know, his strength is running in behind. His strength is, you know, dragging defenders, you know, in positions that they're uncomfortable. And I think the more game I play with the boys, the more they're going to understand that. You know, you saw that against Wickham in terms of my movement and things like that. You know, they were able to use me a lot. And today, you know, it paid out again. You know, they saw my runs, they saw the movement, and just delighted to be used, you know, in the right way, in a way that I know that I can be effective and I can help the team. And, you know, you saw that out there today.
I haven't checked, but I'm sure it would have gone down as an assist for you for Ollie Clark's goal as well. So 2 goals and an assist. But Ollie Clark's a really important player for the team as well, your captain.
Yeah. You know, he leads, you know, day in and day out. It's not just on match days. You see it on a training ground in terms of his work ethic and what he does, and that really pushes the boys, you know. He's a massive asset to us as, you know, teammates. We see what he's doing, and we just got to look onto that as a big example for us. And, you know, every day we've got to follow that lead, and, you know, every day we just got to keep working hard and put the work ethic that he puts in, and, you know, match that. And you can see out there today that that's what got us over the line, so we've got to keep doing that week in and week out.
You've touched on it already. Obviously, a really important game for the gaffer, his 1000th managerial game. Yeah. He spoke so much in the lead-up about his importance, always sticking to getting the victory today and not on him. But he must be absolutely thrilled to reach such a fantastic milestone, but also with a victory.
Yeah. You know, to be fair to him, today he wasn't, you know, pre-match talk. He likes to, you know, give us a little big speech, you know, in terms of the way he comes across, but I think everyone around knew what type of game it was for him. You know, being his 1000th game against his old club, we know what he went through with them in terms of, you know, how the way it ended, it wasn't too well. We're just delighted as players to support him and get that 3 point for him, and not just show, you know, our fans, but also show their fans what a great manager he is. and just delighted for him as well. For it to be his 1000th game for us, to beat his old club the way we did today was really, really good.
He's so enthusiastic, like you say there, in the speeches that he gives to players. So what is it like working with Ian Holloway behind the scenes, considering all of the experience he has as well?
You know, is not just his managerial career, obviously it being his 1000th game, but he's been a player as well. So he knows what it takes. I think coming out of the game last week, we were disappointed together collectively as a team, but he's a manager, he's been a player, he knows how the game plays out. So we might have been down as players, but he saw, he evaluated the game and he saw the game that was completely different to the way we seen it. So he's a big, influence to us in terms of the way he is and his motivational speech. And at times, it might not be nice when we come out the other end and we don't win games, but he's honest. He's honest in terms of what he sees, and that just helps us. We knew that last week we lost the game 1-0, but he was happy in terms of the way we were solid at the back, the way we work our patterns in play. In the final third, we wasn't as effective, but he knew that was going to come today, and we had to just keep listening to his instruction, listening to the confidence that he gives to us, and that paid out there today on the pitch.
Well, lastly, look, congratulations, a man of the match performance awarded by the sponsors this evening. But I just want to talk about the fans. Incredible invoice from minute 1 to minute 90. Incredible support as always from the fans.
Yes, they've been a massive, massive support. It's not just the home games, it's the away games, the way they come out in their numbers. We know that we haven't given a lot, to them from the start of the season in terms of results, but they just want to see a fight. They just want to see heart. I think lately we've showed that in a lot of our games. Last week we had 3 games. We won 2, and we didn't come out of the results on the Saturday game against Bradford the way they would have liked. But it is changing. The results are going to come. We've just got to keep ticking over and just keep getting as many 3 points as possible and just climb up that league. We've got a very, very good squad here, and they're going to be a massive help from now till the end of the season to try and help us, push up that league and see where we can get.